80% of the thoughts you are thinking about yourself on a daily basis are negative. Negative. I like the statistic that I use in the book, and then I reference again in my new book that's coming out in the fall, which is like it's 65 to 75,000 thoughts we have a day, and 95% of them are negative. That's not good. Not good. Negative about your life, about your status, about who you are, about the way you look, about your career, about your relationships, about money. It's actually all reflections of relationships, period. And for me, part of that gets ground into, the conditioned way of thinking about it that becomes even more negative because you aren't able to see your own progress. That's part of, I think, the challenge of humanity is that we don't often stand outside of ourselves and are like, wow, you know what? I'm doing just fine. Look at how far I've come. Okay, not everything is maybe lined up yet. Not everything is maybe coming up roses in my life. Maybe the career part is working, but the relationships are wah, wah. Or maybe the relationships are like your dance card is very full and the career is like wah, wah. But it's okay if you still see it as, if I look at where I was last year, oh, I'm seeing development. I'm seeing progress. I'm seeing like there's some tangible things moving in my life. And one of the ways I said it last night that I was like, oh, I've never said it this way before, is this person was talking about how he was like, yeah, I don't really see, I don't really see like my growth. And I said, it's because you keep seeing it from the vantage point in which you were that created the desire to grow in the first place. So he hasn't caught up with, look, he was here, now undoubtedly he's here, but he's still seeing himself in his life. He's judging himself from this standpoint. You get what I'm saying? And actually, even worse, he's in this chasm between where he was and where he's starting to step into. And I thought, okay, it's sort of like a caterpillar, or, well, a caterpillar doesn't molt, but like a snake or anything that molts. When you are developing and moving evolutionary from one phase in life to another, you molt skin. You shed that stuff that you have grown out of. And you know what happens? In that phase, from shedding one into sliding into, adapting into another one, you're actually vulnerable. You're exposed. You're raw. You're out there to be picked by a bird. You know what I mean? So you've let go of this old casing, and then you're in this vulnerable phase before this new form has taken shape. And the interesting thing is you keep seeing yourself and you're judging yourself when you're in that vulnerable phase. First of all of life is going to look like that, people. It's this, a shedding of skin, new phase. Shedding of skin, new phase. Shedding of skin, new phase. Here we are, molting. Here you are. Actually, it goes like this. Actually, that's what it looks like, right? And I think the interesting thing is the self-talk that happens in that phase, because we're vulnerable and we're exposed and we're looking at things from a new place and we haven't yet gotten to that new plateau, is you have those kind of dialogues. Oh my God, my life isn't working and I suck, and oh my God, it's never going to happen for me, and my agent dropped me, or I can't get an agent, and I weigh too much, and my headshots are terrible, and I need more money, and I'm just going to, why did I choose a career in the arts? And then you get to that new phase, and what happens? You have a few months or a year or 3 weeks of, oh, everything is amazing. And then what happens? You have molted, and then you've slid into, oh my God, oh no, now I got the job, but I don't think I can do it, and oh my God. See, that's what happens. Then you're in this new phase. And then some of the same stuff comes up. Why can't I get a boyfriend? Oh my God, I just still think I should just like give it up and go get my bachelor's degree and become a doctor. And oh my God, that agent called me out, but no, I just don't know how I can do it. And then, oh, actually everything is going to be just fine. And then you slide into another phase. That is what life is. What I'm asking you to look at is not so much here. This is a necessary step in your development, you guys. You get what I'm saying? I feel weird like doing it like this because I have to sit down, but last night I was standing up, and does it make sense when I'm doing it like this? I don't know where I am in my life right now. I'm in New York time, Sydney time. Okay, so, right? So I'll just end with this, is you gotta be here to get to here, and to get to that step, you're gonna go through some crunchy stuff. That is scientific. It's part of your own developmental journey. It's necessary. It aids and abets you. It shows you areas that need to continue to be developed and worked on. Your job is not to see it in a negative light. Your job is not to beat yourself up for being in it. Your job is actually just to allow. Just allow. And then eventually, just by showing up, you get to the new phase. And then it's going to happen again, and then you get to the new phase. And it's going to happen again, and then you get to the new phase. Guys, such is life. It's never, ever, 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 ever. I'll say it one more time for emphasis. Ever not going to be that way. Doesn't matter if you're a huge star and you won an Academy Award, or you're just beginning in your career. Doesn't matter if your agent dropped you, or you don't have an agent. It doesn't matter if you've got, you know, some major roles and you're trying to get to the next level, or you're just starting out being, you know, at least being in the mix of those things. And none of those things are all relative. It's still going to look like that. Okay? So you need to be a little bit more gentler with yourself and a little less negative about this very important process that we are going to be in many times. Capiche? Okay. So, yes, Rico.
You know, that's fascinating that you say that, because my son, it's very much like that. You know,
how old is he now?
He's going to turn 6 in August.
Uh-huh.
And it's like that. You know, he doesn't get something for so long, and then he struggles with it, then he gets it, and then he gets on to the next thing, and he struggles, and then he gets it. And we forget
it
about ourselves.
Yeah, we forget it. Thank you for saying that. It's so true. Yeah, it's really true, you guys. I mean, look at all the things that all the things that we're teaching here is getting back to the core parts. That's a natural phase of these are all natural parts of our experience being on the planet and being human. But we're not really being given the tools of how to deal with them. So we deal with them negatively. You guys, negation of who you are never serves you. That's good. Negation of who you are never, ever serves you. Stop negating yourself. You do it in subtle ways. I look fat. And you do it in more violent ways. I'm a stupid ass. Or I'm a loser. Or, you get what I'm saying? Some acts that you perpetuate on yourself in thought are violent, and some are passive-aggressive. They're all negations of self. The work is, you can rewire it. You are rewiring it. Just by showing up and doing this work, it's creating new wiring. It just doesn't always go away. So I guess, I'm just going to end with, sometimes your stuff is going to get triggered because you're going to be in that vulnerable stuff. So just try to find a way to a little bit more gently, you know what? If you can just step outside and see, oh my God, you know what? I'm actually doing just fine. Doing just fine.